Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 9th through the 15th, 2023. So, as you can see, before I begin, I would like to welcome you all back to this weekly series and to also welcome anyone who is new to our Angelic Wisdom community. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe, select the all notification bell, like, dislike, leave comments, share your wisdom and insights, as you never know um, who may actually benefit and be blessed by what you share and what the messages and the way that this reading has impacted you. As you can see, I'm still away actually, so this was not planned. But I tell you, I really needed the time to relax outside of New York City more than I realized, and I've been realizing it for a while. Like if I leave the city, my body starts to just like release the muscles, just relax, and then I feel like really sleepy, but in this wonderful way. So um, I went down to see my father and my stepmother and my brothers and family, and then an extended family, which also has the same last name, but they're related by marriage, invited me to ride back with them, and then I ended up at their place and stayed there this entire week. So I will be returning on Monday, on the 9th, to New York. So I'm just taking this extra time. So you see this different setup, and they have a very beautiful home, but so I just figured out how to do this as the best I can. I don't have my lapel mic that I normally wear, so hopefully the sound quality is good. Also, and yeah, and so I'm using ooh, two new decks here because this is what I was told to bring with me, not knowing that I thought I was going to use for my personal use. So as you can see, I'm using the Dragon Oracle cards for our angel guidance for this week. And then I'm using a new deck, which I haven't even used at all. So it's the first time with you. And this is called the Tarot of Oneness by Robin Voice. So I'm very excited to use this deck, and I might do like a deck walkthrough, although there are plenty of them online. This is a kind of a deck that allows you to sort of step into the experience. And so you're seeing this almost as from a first person um, experience. And also, it's all about letting you, because oneness, right? So we're seeing this as though it's your feet, you're the human. If you see a human hand or foot, it's you. Um, or you're seeing it through the lens of each soul. Now, if you think about all of our souls, we're just all um, a part of the same network of oneness. So even in our lives, all the people that are in our lives are an extension of you. But our ego um, eclipses this reality, this truth for us, and so we see people as other, and we blame, and we don't identify, we don't our empathy. So this helps us to get, although you might see hands that might be feet that might not look like yours, but the idea is that you're seeing whatever they're seeing, you're seeing it as if they are. It's the same thing for animals. Sometimes you will be an animal in this deck. So it's a very interesting tarot deck. And I think um, sort of the basic way to understand oneness is to literally put yourself in someone else's shoes, is what will help us sort of um, have compassion and understanding and harmony. All right, so also, if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, and I will be sort of getting to emails and readings that have already come in. So if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can contact me at my current website, theangelschool.com/services. There is a link below this video. And this month, and I think I said maybe February, I'll be doing my first time promotional offer, just to make sure, because I couldn't remember when I started it last year. So lucky you. And everyone, that's still available to everyone at this time. Okay. And also, if you'd like to just support my channel, there's my PayPal Me link as well in the description area. And any of my other social media accounts are there as well. All right, so let's take a deep breath and just let's tune in and just call in your angels, the guardians of light that surround you, and be aware of their golden energy that's coming in. And just focus your attention on right now in your heart center, and be aware of your emotional guidance. Now, I'm seeing the word agitated, and they were writing they wrote the word lake in earlier when I was just getting started. And so maybe you might want to visualize yourself standing near a lake or body of water, as if you are viewing that water from a perspective of oneness, as if that lake is you and connected to you and is showing you the level of peace or anxiety just by the motion of the waves of the lake. Notice whether or not it's sort of like a mirror or if it's wavy. And despite what you're seeing, as you connect with it, don't interpret what it might mean. Just become one with it. And just remember to flow. So they wrote the word congestion, as if you might be experiencing some congestion in your life right now. And there's an area in which you are wanting things to kind of flow and move. It might have something to do with people in your life that are just sort of creating sort of a block of some sort, or you're struggling with people, struggling to understand others, or struggling to find acceptance from others. And so they're writing the word empathy, and it seems as though we need to be more aware that what's going on with others around us doesn't always have to be about us, but it's about what's going on with them. And your empathy for other people will greatly assist you in having the clarity that you need at this time. And you know that saying that there's a reason for everything, and I'm going to be saying that a lot this year because that really hit home for me in 2022. There's a reason for everything, and the reason doesn't always have to be just about you, but it's about you. They're saying it's about you noticing where your power is going. Where are you leaking energy? Where are things draining you? And so some of the confusion, and that word they used early, the congestion that you're experiencing in relationships, is not about what they're doing to you, but it's symbolically representing how you're allowing yourself to get stuck, to get congested, like just like you feel like you're stuck in traffic and you just can't move in any direction. And they just wrote the word family too. So this could be people um, in your family, or just these triggers or issues in your family that just um, keeps you sort of stuck, and maybe you can't move, maybe you can't trust yourself, um, or take action in the ways that you need to. I don't know why they're writing September. It's a long ways off. Um, but maybe this congestion in your life is going to clear up in September. It doesn't have to take that long, but it's just that it might take you some time to really, you know, make some shifts to stop allowing yourself to be triggered in certain ways before you can sort of move forward. So they're writing the word symptoms as if really what's going on right now, these are the symptoms, but they're not really the dis-ease, the root causes. And so don't just allow yourself to keep reacting to those symptoms. It goes deeper than that. And when it goes deeper, it's just not about you, but it's really has more to do with what's going on with others and where they're at. Okay. So let's just take a moment and just look at this first card to see what the dragon message is. So hopefully you can see this. I'll just bring this up here. This is the gold and silver violet flame dragon. And so this is like a time for you of transmuting the old around you with wisdom, transmuting the old energies with wisdom and grace. It's a time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace, okay? So the gold and silver violet flame dragons, this is they can really come in and help you to transmute the energies, that stagnant energy, that congestion in the relationships that you've been having. And notice he's holding a butterfly. So this is a time for transformation for you. And you can, when these dragons come in, this will be sort of an acceleration of your ascension process. And so just call upon them now mentally. The gold and silver violet flame dragons. And they write the word death, which for me is the tarot card, which is just reiterating letting go. So this is letting go of a lot. Now there's a river or stream in front of that word on the other bank. I feel like I'm standing on one side of the bank and I'm looking across, and there is a river flowing by. So it's just like letting things go. Okay, and then they were indicating the land. So let's have them now go ahead and just sort of clear the land where you're located. And any area where you also, just think about energy in this way. When you ask or pray for something, also offer a service prayer for someone else or somewhere else. And so as if we're asking them to clear your land, whatever comes to your mind right now, in your heart, as another area of the world that needs, or a place that needs, like I'm seeing the word school. So if there's a school, offer to have the gold and silver violet flame dragons to clear the energy of that land and that location. But it's really about letting go this year. Just, you really have to let go. And as you let go, they're writing the delays go with them. So think about this year, yourself standing by a body of water, a river, and just letting things go, letting it wash away. And it's interesting because I can see sort of like the grass that's sort of along the banks of this stream or river. And it's almost like hairs in that it sort of collects or sifts through what's passing through, so that you're not letting go of what is meant for you or meant to bless you, but you're letting go of that which you no longer need. And you're trusting that your first sort of assignment is to just let it all go. And then let the universe, like God, sort of attract to you or sift through what is can be of service to you. But you need to first let it all go. And I'm not saying that you're going to just toss things out the window. I'm not saying that. But we're talking about people. So in essence, don't struggle with anyone. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to stand up for yourself first. Okay? Let go first. Let go, let God first. Then see what God will do. See what your angels, the universe, see what it's gonna, let it play out. Because sometimes it's like we have our I'm thinking of fish hooks, like we have our hooks in situations or people, and we don't let them go. We don't let God or the universe deal with them, or deal with the situation, or allow them to play their own soul's journey out. No, we get in, we interfere, we try to save them, we try to do XYZ, but in order for them to come to the realization of their own truth and oneness, we have to let them go, trusting that at the end of that journey, or at some point within that journey, there will be a breakthrough moment. And then they will return to us if it's necessary, on our time. Because there's sometimes on our timeline, there's some things that we just need to let go, and some people that need to just have to pop off our timeline in order for us to grow and become what we are, what direction that we are being led towards. So be open to your own healing and your own transformation and transmutation. It's a part of that process of letting go, okay? For real transformation to occur, and trust that they are going to be setting you free, setting you, so first of all, setting you ablaze in order to, with this energy, this gold and silver violet flame, in order for you to help you to let go, and in order for those delays and the congestion to sort of dissolve. All right, so I'm going to put this over here behind the angel with the sheep. And let's take a look at the first part card for the first part of the week. Okay. And I didn't even look over this deck, and there are some changes. So this is a court card, and because I think it's in action, this is the Knight of Cups. We can see this, that here you are the knight, and you're seeing your shadow on this path. And what's really important about this path is that this is a path, this is a mission that you have to walk. This is not about um, trying to correct other people and trying to get other people to be on their path. This is about us being on our path first, following our hearts, and really being focused and dedicating ourselves to that, trusting and knowing, and with all these beautiful reds and pinks, there's this sort of overflowing, overlighting this path, and you can see here that let me just pull a little closer. That there's that the red flowers just sort of lay on that path, have fallen on that path. So this is about something you love, something that has lit your soul ablaze with a passion that's true and deep in your soul, in your knowing and your awareness that your actions are clear, your assignment is clear. Now, are the outcomes always going to be clear on that path? Not necessarily, but your heart is clear. You will know. This is a little weird to say, but um, it sort of doesn't sound like out of the way, but I've been noticing. I've been playing this home design game for like a couple of years now. I'm actually stopping. It costs too much, but that's not the point. But sometimes when I place an object of furniture, I just have this all of a sudden this awareness of that's it. Like I just know it that belongs in that space. And I know this is weird, but for some of you who do this kind of thing often, I don't find myself one. My intuition seems to be a little off when it comes to things like that. But through this game, I picked it up because I wanted to learn to be more creative. Because as I was trying to do things for my own space, and I discovered this feeling all of a sudden, just this knowing, this connection, and it's the same thing. The path may not all the outcomes on that path or the opportunities on that path may not be clear to you, but you will know it in your heart when you see it. And when you do, you have to trust that. And especially when it comes to people, we have to trust those bonds. And that's why it's been so important that they've been talking about networking in this year in terms of paying attention to our sacred bonds of our loved ones in our business, personal and professional, to pay attention to that bond you feel in your heart, because that is the universe overlighting and highlighting something of importance to you, and you have to trust it. You may not know what the outcome is, and because we're always thinking nowadays, what am I going to get out of this? Sort of like we've been set up to think that way. Well, that's getting in our way of our spiritual guidance and our heart's wisdom. We have to trust. We cannot ignore that feeling. I don't know if I told you this story, but the previous video, because it's recorded so long ago, but it's like one day I got up and a friend said, call me. And so when you have a chance, they were available to talk all day long. I just like to talk. And when I woke up, I was thinking, I got this to do, I got this to do, I got this to do, I got this to do. And so I started, and then about the second thing from in the day that I was about to do, my heart was just like, call now. Like it felt right. It felt good to do it then. And at the same time, I was like, but I went on ahead and did it anyway. And I had this really amazing conversation with the person I've had, conversations with before. But the thing is, when you follow your heart, you're as a guide for everything that you need to get done for the day, it just comes together. The experience is unlike what you would have had if you did it when you thought You had time for it. I didn't feel a sense of I was losing energy. I got a boost of energy from the conversation. If I had done it at another time, and all of my events would have been set up according to my mind's um, sort of anxiety. You know how we just get anxious, so we do things but out of fear instead of doing things out of love. And when we do things out of love, we're in alignment with the universe. We're in alignment with God's heart, the cosmic heart. So it's a time to take action, but on the things that your heart is telling you to do. So if your heart is interrupting your plans, let it. Maybe that was the message in all of that. Now look at this. So the Ace of Pentacles. This is saying if you start doing this, all right, you're going to start to welcome opportunities in abundance in your life. Okay, all kind of wonderful opportunities you're going to start to invite into your life. And I'm just loving that we're getting these reds and pinks, you know, even in this Pentacles card. And it's interesting that they've, you know, there's water energy here, but we see the mountains and challenges. And so it kind of flows. It's like this idea of flowing, letting go, that we were talking about, that river, that is leading you to abundance. It's opening you up to new opportunities as well as new challenges, as if to say, climbing higher, climbing to higher heights in your life. So you're going to find that following your heart and taking action on what your heart is guiding you to do, you may not know what the opportunities mean, but don't focus on that. Because when you want to know what this is going to mean to you, as in, what am I going to gain from this? What am I going to get out of this? Then you are creating those delays, that congestion, because that is going to distort all the signals your heart's giving you, and you won't be able to read anything else clearly after that. And that's what's the most important thing to remember. I know I just forgot the card from the bottom. I just realized that. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the card from the end of the end of the week. And it was interesting because now I'm just kind of wondering, like, what perspective are you here? Because you're really close up, and you might be another one of these fish looking at this fish like, where did you get that? Right? And it might be that somebody pops up in your life and you'll be like, oh, that's interesting. Where did you get that? And if you follow them or flow with them or just listen to their story, you might, because I mean, you know, it's like, who's going to see in this? First of all, the pentacles, water here scene, and then a fish with the pentacle in his head is like kind of like as if you want to say that this moment might not make sense to your head, but go ahead and, you know, if this opportunity really grabs you in some way, check it out, even though the circumstances might not seem logical or realistic to you. And here we have the Justice card. So when the major arcana cards come in, this is telling us what is this, the energy. All this is at the end of the week, but I just want to highlight that this is saying this is the energy that's influencing sort of the minor arcana lessons that we're seeing here. So here, you know, here we see just as we see books in the background and we see the scales, okay, and we see a gavel that gives a sense of things ruling in your favor or working in the favor of both parties, because the scales here are balanced. So whatever might unfold, or the opportunity based on following your heart and the actions, in the end, and the outcome of this is going to benefit both parties. Okay. Um, and so you might want to really focus on, you know, again, like I just said in the prayers, it's making sure that your like the dragon card here said, offer service under grace. So make sure that what you're pursuing, um, and or the opportunity, you might see the opportunity and that your heart's been trying to get you to pursue, and yet we kind of get back into thinking about ourselves. So that's going to be the thing to resist. Our ego is always going to be about self, and so this card is saying that you're going to have a fair outcome. It's going to be just if you make sure that whatever you are able to gain, that you give to someone else, that you help someone else benefit as well, or that making sure that the exchange or the parties on either side of this are getting an equal, fair deal. Okay? This is how we grow. This is that sense of oneness being about cooperation. We've been talking about um, our independence is dependent upon our interdependence, right? So this is what this card really reminds me of, that the angels told us um, in the last month and into this new year, some of the readings that we were doing. And this is something for us not to forget, because we're at the halfway point of our ascension process to 2032. And so it's very important that to make sure that we're not perpetuating the old paradigm, that we are aware of that statement that they gave to me to share with all of us, which is our independence is dependent upon our interdependence. Nobody will be, everyone, no one climbs alone to the top. We do it together, because that's really oneness, harmony. That's how we'll have peace in the world. We can't have peace in the world if there are people suffering. So yes, we are each other's keeper. As always, they always say, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, you are. Absolutely. Sorry. All right. And let's take a look at the card that I pulled from the bottom of the deck. Look at that. It's the death rebirth card. And so this is really emphasizing letting go of the old paradigm, letting go of how you did things before, letting go of how you made deals, letting go of how you were always out to please your ego. What can I get from this? What can I, and never saying what can we all get out of this? That is the change, the transformation in our internal dialogue that needs to shift. It's we now. How can we all live in a world that has peace? How can we, how can we, I want to just say, sort of like in this political landscape of division that we have, but how can we work together? How can we, as coming from different parties, traditions, religions, etc., ethnicities, how can we create a world together that is fair and just and harmonious and peaceful and loving, empathetic, kind, compassionate, etc.? How can we do this together? Because in order to get the result or the answer you're looking for, you first have to have a good question that you start with. If the question isn't good, your answer is never going to give you the result. Everybody puts so much emphasis on the answer or the solution or what they want to see. But their question, that their ideas or whatever's, sort of provoking their goals or ambitions, it's that question that you have to start with. And so every question has to include we, in order for us to really start laying the foundations of oneness So important. And how can we let go? And it's just, look at this card and you see someone's feet here, and they're looking down. They see all these symbols of death and rebirth. Um, we see, fall leaves, acorns here, sort of fungus growing from a tree, how you're seeing all these different ways, like where we think, something has ended and then some kind of life comes out from that, right? So don't just look at things in one way. Now we need to start to really broaden the scope of our ability of understanding. There are many ways that things can go, and there are, in the direction that we want to go, there are more possibilities that can open up for us. But if we keep trying to only focus on the results, then we'll feel like we're lost on our path. Well, any path that you're set upon, you will always feel lost if you only have one goal or one point of view, one perspective. You have to broaden those things. And the only way to do that is to see it through other people's eyes. If you're in a room with a group of people and they might be on another side of the issue, in order to find that balance, that harmony, that light, you're going to have to see this through their eyes, see it through their minds, see it through their pain. And when you start to do this, even if it doesn't happen in the first meeting, but if you keep doing it, then you'll start to attract people to you, or they'll pick up on this energy of true unconditional love. They may not understand it, but they will perceive it. It will interact with them in some way that their barriers will fall and they will be open to their own wisdom and grace. And the wisdom and grace of God in the universe will be able to sort of touch all of us and open us up to help us, enlighten us with this broader landscape of oneness, consciousness, and thinking, and interacting. Because, as long as we really stick to our guns about our beliefs, then we can't work together and we can't construct our interdependence, all right, or the alignment of this, because that interdependence brings us back to this focus of oneness. All right. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings. And I thank you for being present with me this week. And remember, in this week, when you call upon these gold, silver, violet flame dragons to transmute energy, because this is a very high frequency of the violet flame. So when you work with this violet flame energy, make sure that you ask for this energy on behalf of others. Whatever you do, whatever you ask for yourself, ask for it on the behalf of someone else. Whatever blessing you ask for, ask that someone else be blessed. When you drink a glass of water, bless the lake, bless a lake, bless a pond, bless a stream near you, or bless all the the bodies of waters of the earth. When you eat a fruit, bless the an orchard or somewhere else in your community or worldwide. Do this to help you to keep your mind focused on building and establishing the foundations of oneness in our world and to help usher in the new golden age. Have a beautiful week and God bless you.